Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Miller Mice podcast. My name is Owen Miller, and I'm with my brother, Silas Miller. Silas, how you doing, man?
Good. We're back. Big week of college football.
Oh, my goodness. What a weekend it was.
Yes, it was something.
It really was, and we are so excited to talk about it.
Yeah, Big Ten was back,
Yep. Big upsets, big games. So much to talk about, so why don't we just jump right in?
Yep.
Let's do it. All right, first and 10, Silas. We always start with our top 10 teams.
Okay.
So why don't we start off with you? What are your top 10 teams after week 8?
All right, well, I'm going to make it a little quicker than last time.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time last time. Pretty self-explanatory. Number 1 and 2 is Clemson and Alabama. Alabama came off a big win at Tennessee. Clemson handled... I can't even think of it.
Clemson?
Yeah, Clemson beat Syracuse.
That's right.
Syracuse. And
Closer game than
it looked.
Yes. Yep.
Ohio State jumps, or they actually stay for me at number 3, Oklahoma State at 4, and then Notre Dame, Georgia at 5 and 6. Cincinnati, who jumped into my top 10 after a win at SMU, and then Wisconsin, Texas A&M, and Michigan hits my top 10.
Michigan. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. So mine's pretty similar, but differences minor. So we got 1 and 2 are the same. Clemson, Alabama. Number 3, Ohio State. Excited to put them above Alabama, though, in the coming weeks. I feel like that will happen. Number 4, Oklahoma State, who's not getting any love.
No love at all.
I don't understand. It was a big win. I feel like we're going to see Iowa State play Oklahoma State again in the conference championship.
Okay.
And it was a close game, but
I feel like, people were like, Oklahoma State, there's a really good chance they lose this game. I wouldn't be shocked if Iowa State wins. People had them in Vegas. They were picking Iowa State. And then when they do beat Iowa State, it's like, you're still not Georgia.
Right. Come on. Okay. And I feel like I have them with Notre Dame at number 5 for me. I like putting Oklahoma State above them, again, because I feel like they have more talent. I like watching them better.
Yeah.
I feel like, they have so many returning players this year with Chuba Hubbard, who came off of a Heisman season last year.
Right.
And he's playing the same way. Tylan Wallace is receiver core. Offensively, they just have the talent.
Yes, but have they shown it so far? Is a thing that I know a lot of people are talking about is the defense is the highlight of their season right now.
Well, first game of the season threw a total monkey wrench with Spencer Sanders getting hurt.
Yes, it did. I feel it that way too. Him being back this week opened up Chuba more.
Yes,
and that was huge. And I think that's why
it was a big win. It was good to see them pull it off.
Right.
I have them above Notre Dame at 5.
Who came out of a better week?
Yes, they did. They did.
Pitt was a big win.
Right.
So.
Right. Right now, it's so weird. We're still, even 8 weeks in, there's so many things up in the air.
Right.
So it's like our top 10 they're weird. So we got Notre Dame at 5, number 6 Georgia.
Okay. I
have Wisconsin at 7.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. They played. They were the first Big Ten team to play.
Yeah.
It was just exciting to watch them. I like them in my top 10. Number 8 Texas A&M.
Okay.
Florida at 9, and then keeping BYU in the top 10 because I like them a lot.
Going back to Georgia, or no, not Georgia, Wisconsin. Excuse me. Graham Mertz got coronavirus, or at least tested positive. We're still waiting for confirmation on that. We'll get
is
into
that right?
That. Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that.
No, that's fine. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yes, their QB Graham Mertz did test positive.
That's definitely going to hurt them later. Is that why you have Michigan then in 10?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I think Michigan's win at Minnesota was just a big statement.
Yeah,
it's a perfect way to
stronger win than Wisconsin's over Illinois.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, those are our top 10. It is what it is when it comes to top 10 teams, but we just spit those out there, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
All right, so we're going to talk about Ohio State football because
more Big Ten.
Yes, let's do it. Let's keep it up. Ohio State, they're back and they're living up to the hype against Nebraska. It was a little scary at first.
Yes,
with that score right away from Scott Frost's Nebraska. But what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think on Nebraska, like, they're much better.
Yes.
I feel like Nebraska has improved, and it showed right away. But Justin Fields, he's just too much.
That's
like,
right.
Even though the defense and the two lines were a little bit of a struggle,
Yeah.
the offense is just too good.
Right. And in terms of coming off of like not playing for so long, like the Big Ten's just not coming back, I feel like there were kinks that they had to get out, but even it wasn't horrible. And I feel like it would still look like good, strong Ohio State football, so which was pretty cool. We're going to talk about Justin Fields pretty quickly coming up, as we will talk about your Heisman candidates after Week 8. But so the Big Ten slate was like really crazy.
Yes,
this weekend
it was
big upset.
Yes, I called it last week. I think I picked Penn State, but I said watch out.
Yeah,
watch
that's
out.
right.
So Penn State goes on the road in Bloomington, Indiana, and loses.
Yeah,
not impressive at all.
No, it was not. But dude, that's what everyone's talking about. That last play, that we were screaming at our television set.
We have a neighbor,
Oh yeah, we have a good friend who we're hoping to have on soon, who's a Penn State fan.
Yep.
And man, we were feeling for him after that, because how disappointing to be waiting for your team for so long.
Yeah, it's almost a year.
Yeah, and then that happens.
Boom. Yep.
But that's Indiana.
Well, I think it started in the offseason for Penn State.
Okay.
They had a lot of hype. They were ranked 8th coming into the week.
Right.
Journey Brown goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Micah Parsons opts out. Those are two really high draft picks.
Big losses.
That's why, to me, Indiana had a really good chance, and obviously they ended up winning, but there's just too many holes.
Right.
There's too many holes you have to fill. And then Noah King got hurt in the middle of the game. They missed field goals.
Right.
It just did not go their way. And now they have Ohio State.
I was just about to say. Now they have to turn around and they have to focus in on the Buckeyes that they have to play this weekend. But with everything, especially the Michael Parsons thing, like losing him it has to do something to like the team's morale.
Yes.
And for him to not be there and to play Indiana at first, do you feel like Penn State, even though they have this coming up this weekend, is pretty tough? Do you feel like how is their season going to play out? Do you think they're fine?
They'll be fine. I think they're going to start 0-2.
Yeah.
But I think that Franklin will get them, to where they need to be.
Right.
They might win. I say they would win out with one loss. So they go, what would that? 5,
to Ohio State?
They'd be 4-3. Yeah. No.
Oh, more on top of that. So
yes.
they'll be okay.
So they'll have 3 losses is what I'm saying. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so we talked about the Big Ten slate. Any more games you want to talk about?
Yes, Michigan at Minnesota.
And they looked very good.
They looked good. I mean, I was not expecting, if you listened to last week's podcast.
Right, you had Minnesota.
Yes, I did. I really thought Tanner Morgan, Rashad Bateman coming back, I really thought Minnesota was going to get it done. And because you look back, Jim Harbaugh has these games, these openers. They usually start okay, but then you have some where they go on the road to Notre Dame. They go somewhere else and lose, and I just felt like that was what that was going to be like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Joe Milton and that running back core proved me wrong.
Yeah,
they proved me wrong.
They looked very good.
Yeah.
So better than Penn State.
Better than Penn State.
Yeah. So
doesn't take much.
Yeah. So I definitely thought Minnesota was going to give more of a competition to them.
Right.
I honestly thought they were going to beat them.
Yeah, that defense is just.
Sorry, that was our cat. Our cat is wanting to get up here with our computers. Anyway, our rig is not very good yet, but hey, anyway, we're working out the kinks. Silas, what are your Heisman candidates after Week 8? Okay. So we mentioned you were talking about Justin Fields and how great he looked.
Right. Yeah.
But there's definitely others.
Oh
so I'd like to hear them.
Okay, so I got 5 here listed. I mean, you start with that team up in South Carolina.
Okay.
You got Lawrence
at
QB, who's just slinging it. I mean, he struggled through a pick 6 for the first time in his career on Saturday.
Yeah.
Which was eye-opening a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't matter.
It's not going to affect his running for Heisman at all, but you look at it and it's like, oh, okay, he is a man.
Yes, he's not immortal.
Yeah, right. He's not a machine.
Right.
But okay, so there's obviously Trevor Lawrence.
And then you got his best friend down there, Travis Etienne.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. He fumbled again, I think. Second week in a row he's fumbled, but he's just
Syracuse gave them a harder time than they were expecting.
Right, and I think they're looking ahead. I think 2 weeks they have Notre Dame, so like they're kind of just like looking ahead, and they have the talent, sadly, to do that.
Right,
sometimes.
and you see that with teams all the time. I think back to Ohio State's loss to Purdue, or any year with Urban Meyer, the loss they shouldn't have had.
Clemson's loss at Syracuse on a Friday night.
Yeah,
remember?
It was. I thought we were going to see that again.
Yeah,
but so you have the Clemson players. Do you have anybody else on your Heisman watch?
Mac Jones. I think that takes a toll that Jaylen Waddle got hurt.
Yeah,
but he is throwing for about 400 yards a game.
He's doing better than we expected.
Yeah, I was not for what he did last year when Tua got hurt. Like I was not expecting Mac Jones to come out and be that guy.
Right.
For the Alabama.
Do you feel like he has been?
Oh yeah, he has been.
Okay.
Definitely. Mac Jones, Steve Sarkisian has put him in a position to where he can just throw the ball around to Devontae Smith.
Right.
Previously Jaylen Waddle, and he's got Mechie too to throw to. So yeah, Mac Jones is a Heisman contender right now. I know people are comparing him to Joe Burrow. I'm not sure if I'm there yet with that. Okay. But yeah, Mac Jones, and then I got 2 Big Ten players after week 1. I got Justin Fields, who was nearly perfect, 20 for 21, 200 and some yards.
Goodness sake.
Yeah, and then mirroring that was on Friday night, Graham Mertz, who tested positive, but he went 21 for 22, I think. And yeah, he was outstanding. I know it was Illinois, and I know it was Nebraska, but I
still, just to get those numbers,
right?
Yeah, that's definitely. It's so up in the air right now, though, with the whole COVID-19 thing.
Yeah, you just never know,
right? So
just never know.
I definitely like those. I definitely like who you have on your Heisman watch. Your candidates after week 8. I have to. I mean, I didn't write mine out myself, but definitely Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence, I feel like, are the two.
Yes,
they're duking it out, just like they will be for the upcoming draft.
Right.
But so it's kind of exciting to see that play out with Justin Fields only playing 1 game, though. You got to give the edge, in my opinion, to Trevor Lawrence as of right now.
And what's crazy about that is Lawrence has never made a Heisman finalist. He's never gone to New York dressed up for a chance to win.
Is that right?
He's never been there. No. Nope.
Wow.
Justin Fields went last year, but Trevor Lawrence was a freshman, won the national championship, never went, though. Mm-hmm. And then last year you got Justin Fields, Chase Young, obviously Joe Burrow, and then Jalen Hurts. So, no, he hasn't really gone to New York, which is crazy. He definitely will be going this year. I don't know if he'll win, but he definitely will be going.
Okay, so well, that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Yeah. All right, that concludes our 1st and 10. We're going to be moving on. We're moving 2 yards.
Yes.
To our 2nd and 8. So let's get going. All right, 2nd and 8. So a couple more things to talk about here. Yep. The Big 12 showdown of Oklahoma State. Their big win over Iowa State. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but definitely want to get some more detail on this now. So let's talk about that win.
Okay. Yeah, I like to call it the showdown in Stillwater.
Okay.
Oklahoma State came in as a 3-point favorite. Iowa State was
3 points though.
Yeah,
like, I was a little surprised.
Which is crazy considering the outcome was 24-21.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, hats off to the sports book down there or up there in Vegas, but
yeah, they got that right. But I was surprised by that because I definitely thought it was going to be a bigger margin. Than just 3 for Oklahoma State.
Well, and considering Oklahoma State has got this passing attack all the time, like it's just different this year in the Big 12.
Right.
Like it's defensive oriented, and that's there's a difference. It's like the SEC and the Big 12 have flip flopped a little bit.
Okay. Defensively, you mean?
Yes, and offensively. I think the offenses have deteriorated in the Big 12.
And the defenses have
and the defenses have like gone up while the SEC's defenses have gone down.
Okay, I understand. Sorry, I'm tracking with you.
Oh, no, you're good. And then Oklahoma State, Spencer Sanders came back. Chuba ran for I think 120 some yards, 130 yards.
Yeah.
And, I think it was a battle of the running backs. You got Breece Hall for Iowa State who had 155, I think. And Oklahoma State had control like the whole game.
Yes.
It looked closer at the end. There was like a last minute drive for Iowa State, but Oklahoma State definitely, with that defense, just controls games.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help them down the stretch with games like Texas, Kansas State, and Oklahoma. So, yeah, that's the Big 12 showdown. I mean, not much to say about Iowa State at this point. I know lots of people like them.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
people
always-
are always high.
Yeah, they're always hyped up.
Yes, and I think that's because of what the job Matt Campbell has done in Ames, and I think deservingly.
Oh, yeah.
But I just feel like sometimes they never live up to that hype.
And you can't necessarily rule them out now.
No.
Like, even after this loss.
Well,
to
that was
Oklahoma
their
State.
first loss in the Big 12.
Right.
So, I mean, that loss to Louisiana really hurts.
Yeah.
Like, that was inexcusable. People were shocked. I know some people had them in their top 10 to start the year. Now they got 2 losses. So, Oklahoma State, that front runner now in the Big 12.
Right. And like I said earlier, I do feel like we can see Iowa State later on in the conference championship.
Well, that win against Oklahoma was really big. Because I know some people are like, Oklahoma is going to squeeze back in.
Right.
And, well, if Iowa State keeps winning,
they're behind them.
Yeah, because the head-to-head, you know? So,
right. Okay. So this big win over Iowa State for Oklahoma State. What do you feel like this means? Not only
Oklahoma State over Iowa State.
Oh, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. Oklahoma State winning over Iowa State. Big win. What does this win and then possibly upcoming wins in the future? Because they've got some big games coming up.
Oh, yeah. The next 3 games for Oklahoma State. You're home to Texas.
Yeah.
Who needs a win.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like Tom Herman is in a really serious position this week. They go to Stillwater. It was a 6-point game last year in Austin. Oklahoma State has had the upper hand with Texas lately. The past 10 years have been Oklahoma State's. Now, I think...
I'm sure Texas would love to get this win over Gundy for sure.
Yep. And then they go at Kansas State, who's still undefeated in the conference, and I really believe they can lose this week. Kansas State is one of my upsets.
Really?
We'll see later. Yep.
Kansas State's look good.
Oh, yeah. They got that freshman running back, Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
Who's really good. So, yeah, they go at Kansas State, which is going to be huge.
Tough.
I'm going to say that's going to be on Big Noon with Gus and Joel.
Okay.
And then they go at Oklahoma.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, every time I watch Oklahoma State play at home to Oklahoma and lose, I'm like, man. Because now next year, you got to go back to Norman, which can hurt sometimes.
Yeah, that's a big factor in that game. What does this mean for the future of the Cowboys though?
I mean, if they can win all 3,
okay,
they are looking right in at the playoff.
Right, because we have them in our top 4.
Oh yeah. I really believe they're one of the top teams in the country.
Yes, with
that defense, and the offense is going to start to click a little more
right
now that he's back. And I think if they can go 3-0,
yeah,
in the next 3 games. They're looking right at it.
We're looking at playoff contention?
I believe so. And I think what's sad about this for Oklahoma State fans is the fact that Oklahoma can lose a game every year and still go. But reporters and media, they're all like, if Oklahoma State gets in, they have to be undefeated.
Yeah.
It's because of that blue blood mentality.
Well, let me throw this at you. The fact that in both the AP Top 25 and the coaches poll, Georgia, who's 3-1, whose loss is to Alabama.
Right.
They're 3-1. They're at 5. Oklahoma State is at 6. Mm-hmm. And they're undefeated.
Right.
So, I mean, it just goes to show the kind of love that Oklahoma State gets and the respect.
And I just feel it's crazy that they have to wait like 3 years to get this like
right. They're not they don't get the recruits like Ohio State.
No.
Or Clemson or even Oklahoma. They don't get those recruits. They have to build.
Yeah, Gundy has done a great job building with what he gets.
Right. I feel like Oklahoma State this year is the Mason Rudolph team.
Right.
From however many years ago where they were in the top 10. And it took how many years for them to get back to that point. I feel like they're there.
Yeah.
That's why these games are big for them.
Right. And it's crazy to think. This week I was telling someone that Oklahoma State in 2017 with Mason Rudolph and James Washington, Justice Hill, they were 6th at home when they played 17 TCU.
Okay.
They lost. That shows the difference between this year and 2017, considering they were 6th this week and they played 17 Iowa State at home and won. And it was all because of the defense. The defense in 2017, not near as good as this year. Which means they're better.
Like you were saying, the flip with the SEC defenses being down, and now Oklahoma State's defense is kind of looking pretty good out there.
Oh, yeah. They're stopping teams like it's It's unbelievable.
So you feel like playoff contention if they can keep up the way they're playing, get these wins over the next couple weeks, and then you have Baylor in December,
right,
which was rescheduled. If they can get all those, hopefully maybe stay undefeated, and we'll see them in the playoff.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about the Jaylen Waddle injury.
Oh man, yeah,
that hurts.
That does hurt. And I was saying that earlier with Mac Jones being the Heisman watch. Here's the thing.
Okay. I want to hear it.
Yes.
Bring it.
Okay. Alabama is loaded.
Yeah.
Alabama is loaded. You got Mac
Tell me
Jones.
something I don't know, Silas.
Okay, yeah. So you got two guys on each side of the ball.
Right.
With Najee Harris in the backfield. You've got Devontae Smith and you got Jaylen Waddle. Take one of them out, it really hurts.
Okay.
I'm still saying stuff I know that, but now you've got these youngsters.
Okay.
That you have to put out there, which can hurt or it can be really good for the future of Alabama, and
but what about the right now?
It's killer.
Okay.
It's killer that he's done for the year, but that's not going to take them out of contention.
Absolutely.
There's a gap right now between
talent-wise?
Yes, between Alabama and the rest of the SEC. The fact that Alabama can beat Texas A&M 56-27 and then Texas A&M goes and beats Florida, who was third. There's a big talent gap right now.
Right.
Between Alabama and the SEC, and I didn't think there was. I didn't really think there was a talent gap, especially when I picked
as
Georgia.
big as there is. You mean?
Right. Yeah, I was not aware until Alabama beat Georgia like that, and then they go to Tennessee in one of the biggest stadiums in the world.
Yeah.
And they whoop them. They keep whooping teams.
Yep.
And I keep underestimating them. It's probably time I stop.
Okay. So even with the Jaylen Waddle injury, because of the talent gap, it hurts, but they're fine?
Yes, but I think they're a little more vulnerable.
Okay.
Like what we talked about earlier, like games like Ohio State at Purdue.
Yeah.
Or Clemson at Syracuse.
So you can see them losing a game they shouldn't?
It's more possible.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It wasn't...
I understand. I want to hear you say, obviously, oh, Alabama, yeah, they can lose to that
right.
to that team they shouldn't. You know what I mean? Because of the Jaylen Waddle injury, but because of that talent gap.
And the fact that they played a game at Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks now.
Closer than it should have been.
Yes. And the fact that they had Jaylen Waddle that game helps.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to play a game like that without Jaylen Waddle.
Right.
So
and it definitely helps the quarterback to have more options.
Yes.
And taking him out is an option that he doesn't have.
Yeah, because he doesn't really have the mobile option.
That's true.
So he needs all the throwing options he can get.
Okay. So, yeah, it hurts Alabama. I think they'll be fine. But you got to definitely look out for you got to be more on your toes with them after that injury.
Yep.
So how bad is Ole Miss, Silas? How bad are they?
I can't think of any other word but bad.
Okay.
I
mean, that's it.
Yeah, bad. They are bad. And it's not offensively, but it can be. Because 2 weeks ago, they go at Arkansas and they throw 6 picks, which is something you just can't do considering how bad the defense is.
Yeah, that's a college football sin.
Yes. That's
6
a lot of
interceptions
picks.
is just unexceptable.
Yeah, and
we talked about that last week.
Right, yeah, and they had a hangover with the Alabama game and stuff like that. But yes, Ole Miss just lost to an Auburn team that's really struggling.
Yeah, it's
inexcusable. I think, Lane Kiffin, that whole Lane train.
yeah,
they're in a rebuilding stage.
Right,
they're on the right track.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had this written out. And more importantly, how bad is Ole Miss? But more importantly, how bad is Auburn?
Yes. Bad.
Yeah.
I know they're at 3:30 on CBS this week, but they have a 5-star who started as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Alabama, and then you turn around the next year, in a year that crazy stuff can happen. You see Oklahoma State up there.
Yep.
You see Texas A&M up there.
Yep.
Auburn should not be this bad. There's no reason for it. You have a 5-star, started as a freshman, he has all this experience already. There's no reason to be this bad. You go to South Carolina and lose. You keep losing. It's like, man, I'm trying to think of an analogy for it. It's like if a car
Okay.
goes off a ramp.
Okay.
And the ramp...
Like hang time, it's in the air?
Right.
Okay, it's going off a ramp.
Yes, and this ramp is a really good year.
Okay.
And there's no hang time.
Oh.
It's like, oh wow, they're going to soar. And boom.
Boom, they just drop.
Yep.
Like in okay, I've got an analogy kind of like that. So like Looney Tunes.
Okay.
So like they're running, okay? Mm-hmm. And the coyote's about to get the roadrunner.
Yeah.
All right? It's running, it goes right off the cliff. You're like, "Oh, he's going to catch him."
Mm.
But no, he just falls straight down.
Right.
Straight down the cliff, and there goes the roadrunner.
Yes, or if
we got another analogy here. Let's go.
It's like the roadrunner. You always expect the coyote to go off the cliff and stay there a second.
Right.
No, it's just too realistic. Okay.
Gus
Malzahn is too realistic.
Yes. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. So with Auburn, okay, they're not getting that hang time. They're a good team who's not a good team.
Right.
Okay. Now they play 3:30 this weekend against LSU. Mm-hmm. LSU has to go to Auburn. LSU's bad too.
Yeah.
So is this just gonna be like the worst game to watch? Like what should I expect here, Silas?
Well, I won't be watching it.
Okay, I won't watch it either then.
No. LSU come off of the championship year where they lost everything. Everything.
Right.
And except Derek Stingley. But, I mean, that's besides the point.
Yeah, they lost everything.
Yeah. Well, Jamar Chase opts out.
Okay.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes to the draft. Joe Burrow's a first overall pick.
Yeah. He's doing well in the NFL, isn't he?
Right. You lose Randy Moss's son.
Yeah.
This team was loaded.
What about that?
Yeah. So, LSU, I can understand it a little more. I feel like they shouldn't be this bad.
Right.
Yeah.
You're making a face. Yeah. You're making a face like, why are you this bad?
Right. And to show you how bad, going back to Auburn.
Okay.
This is why I believe LSU will win. Is because if you look
Really?
Yes. Oh, yes.
What?
I know it's at Auburn, but
come on.
I know.
Okay.
LSU they host South Carolina.
Okay.
They whoop them.
Right.
You look a week ago,
mm-hmm.
Auburn goes to South Carolina and gets beat. Who beat South Carolina? It's like South Carolina is the little core.
Yeah.
And they're bouncing off of it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like they're trying to get through to each other, and now they're finally doing it, but...
There's South Carolina in between them.
Except LSU's the one that broke through while Auburn disintegrated.
Okay. So you have LSU this weekend over Auburn.
I think LSU.
In a game you won't watch.
In a game I won't watch, no.
Okay. We won't watch it, but we'll talk. We'll come back next week. We'll have to see how that one went.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That concludes 2nd and 8. Man, we're moving through this, aren't we? We are. We're moving swiftly. We got to talk about Oklahoma State there, Jaylen Waddle, and how it doesn't affect Alabama.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about just how bad Ole Miss is, and more importantly, how bad Auburn was. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good little 2nd and 8 drive we just had.
That was just a bad game last week between Auburn and Ole Miss.
It was just
a tale of two bad teams.
Do you think that'll be the case this weekend with LSU and Auburn?
Yeah.
Another pitiful game.
Yeah, and the defenses are pitiful.
Welcome to the SEC.
Yeah. Pitiful defenses in the SEC. You don't see that much.
You don't see that much, but I love it.
Yes, I think it's fun.
I definitely, I love watching how bad they are.
People talked in the offseason about how, who knows, COVID can make some teams really good.
Right.
COVID can make some teams really bad.
Yeah. Yes.
We've said the word bad a lot, but think about the SEC this year. It's bad.
Trash.
Yes, it's trash.
It's trash.
In Georgia, I really don't think they're that good. I thought they were.
Right.
They went... But Tennessee wasn't that good.
I feel like Georgia's a good SEC team. But I feel, Alabama, you can't even include them right now because we saw the talent gap in that game.
Yeah.
Georgia's a good SEC team, but the SEC this year, unimpressive. Unimpressive.
Yep.
We're moving on.
Okay.
Because I'm getting ticked.
Are you?
I'm fired up.
Okay.
We're talking about the SEC and how bad they are.
All right.
Anyway. We're moving on. We're going to 3rd and 4. We gained 4 yards.
Better than 2 yards.
That's right. It could be 3rd and 6.
We don't want 3rd and 6.
No, we want 3rd and 4.
3rd and 5 would be okay.
Yeah, I'd rather have 3rd and 4. Gives us more options.
Yeah, we need third and four if we have a quarterback like Jarrett Garantano.
Yes! Okay, 3rd and 4. Let's do it. All right, let's talk about Indiana.
Hey.
Yeah. Indiana.
Happy people.
Silas, Indiana's ranked.
I know.
They're ranked.
And good for them.
I know. I love it.
But here's the thing.
I like that a lot.
You know, I'm going back to...
Not only are they ranked, Silas, I'm sorry. They're 17.
That's impressive.
That's so impressive.
Yeah. Considering... Yeah, I mean... Indiana. Let's dive a little deeper than their ranking.
Okay.
Because...
Right. I'm a ranking guy. I like seeing that little number.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
me too.
I love looking at that scoreboard and seeing a number by Indiana's name.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I think that's awesome that Indiana's ranked.
How long's it going to last?
Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Speak.
Okay. Indiana hosts Penn State.
Yes.
Penn State's got bullet wounds all through them.
They're bleeding.
Yes. And then the game doesn't go their way.
Yeah.
So now they're really wounded.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Indiana, who just beat a top 10 school.
Smiling ear to ear.
Yeah. And they hardly ever beat top 10 schools.
Right.
So to see them, do that and then be in the top 25,
Yeah.
it's pretty special. However,
Okay. Here
there is lots of flaws in that offense.
It was a pretty nasty game.
I mean, I can't tell what the defense is like because I think Penn State's offense is bad. So we don't really know about the defense yet. But the offense for Indiana, Penix's numbers weren't the greatest.
Yeah.
The run game was okay. I mean, it just wasn't the prettiest.
Right.
For both teams.
Yeah, and you're going to expect that out of an opening week anytime.
Yes. But I just
on
don't
top
think,
of a pandemic.
Yeah. And I saw this crazy question that said, who would you rather have?
Yeah.
Sean Clifford and Noah Cain, running back and QB for Penn State.
Okay.
Or Penix and Indiana's running back. Now,
just Indiana's running back.
Minute, yeah.
No name required.
No. Who would you rather have? The majority would probably take Indiana's, which is crazy.
Wow.
But they let down a little bit on Saturday. I mean, the defense for Penn State's lacking Micah Parsons.
Right.
You have lost a lot.
Yeah.
You were a pretty good team last year. You lost a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. And you play mediocre. I mean, someone had to win the game because Penn State played even more mediocre. But Indiana's got games like Michigan.
Yep.
Like Nebraska, Ohio State. It's questionable to me.
But look, I look at Indiana and I see that number by their scoreboard now.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at that and I'm not thinking, "Oh wow. They're a top 17 team in the country." Like they're the 17th best in the country. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it like that. Yeah, big win. Silas, they're here to wreak havoc. Mm-hmm. They're here to knock off as many top Big Ten teams as they can.
And the fact that they've never been in a position like this before, like they're not used to it,
right?
A little bit. So
they can either react and be like, "We are 17,"
which is crazy. Think about that. When Ohio State lost on the kickoff or on the field goal kick to Penn State, and Penn State becomes an elite team again. Well, not elite, but good.
Yeah, don't use the word. Don't just throw that elite word around lightly. Franklin's not gonna like that.
Okay, yeah,
they're not an elite team yet, bro. Come on, they're a good team. They're a great team. They're not elite.
Right. That's James Franklin's own words.
Exactly. That was a direct quote from.
But they beat Ohio State
right
at home.
Yep.
Kind of in an environment,
and
way
now,
different environment. With the
every year, Penn State is someone to look at.
Right. They went and won the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Indiana's. I feel like they're not going to do that.
Right.
But I do feel like they could finish a top 25 team.
Really?
I feel like for the majority of the season they could be out, but then at the end they could squeeze back in for like a top 20 to 25 range.
Okay.
I feel like
wouldn't that be gorgeous?
Right. I feel like 17 is the ceiling.
Yes.
For Indiana football.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I don't see them being higher than that. I feel like they're definitely. I don't think this is it for them.
No.
I feel like right now they can either there's two ways they can go. They can just plummet and be like, hey, we did our part.
Yeah.
First game of the season, we beat Penn State. Or they're gonna try to keep this going as long as possible.
And how about that kickoff? Remember?
Oh my gosh. the
Tom
squib.
Allen was going. Yeah.
Are we talking the squib?
Tom Allen was going nuts.
Yeah.
But
I was like, they're gonna lose this. All that. And then the kicker loses it for Indiana.
who knows? It might be like Hoosiers this year.
Oh my goodness.
Bad news.
Like
they're
the
in
film?
Columbus.
The film Hoosiers?
Yeah, like a film.
Yeah.
Yeah. But bad news. They're in Columbus. They have to go to Columbus.
Okay.
And lost
They're not
51
gonna
to
be
10
they're not
last
gonna
year.
be in their own place.
No.
Ryan Day. They're gonna have to come to Ryan Day at Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Okay.
And real quick, this isn't in our schedule, but Ryan Day having to apologize for scoring at the end. Scott Frost didn't want to hear it. No. So Ryan
His
Day,
apology
he
was
said that
nothing to him.
Right. He said that the personnel he had on the field with the freshman QB, he said he just didn't feel like it was a good idea to knee it. They haven't really practiced it that much, so he decided to score, which he said he
on.
regretted. It's
Come
fine.
on.
It's fine.
I say keep scoring.
Scott Frost, but it was inverted. It was like the opposite of what you think Scott Frost would say. He said that if they wanted the score to be different, they should have played better.
Right.
That's what
That's
Scott
it.
Frost.
I feel like Scott Frost. Yeah, I would be upset too. And Scott Frost handled it like a big boy because he is a big boy. Ryan Day's gonna score the ball.
Well, he's shrunk. I disagree that he's a big boy right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, he was a big boy at UCF,
Okay.
and I just feel like ever since he's went to Nebraska, where he's had to rebuild, it was a bigger rebuild than we ever imagined.
Right.
It's like he's not even talked about anymore. And I feel like it's because he needs to be doing a better job.
You think Scott Frost should be doing a better job?
I do.
Okay.
I feel like Nebraska has been one of those teams for a long time.
Right.
But now
The move to the Big Ten.
Yes.
It's been difficult for them.
And I know the recruiting, it's not like you just recruit Nebraska anymore.
Like,
and
hey,
Ohio State just recruits Ohio.
Hey, come play in Nebraska.
No, they're going to go to Missouri or something.
Right.
Or
even no.
those Southern California kids
Missouri's
are going
not
to
even
Texas.
a very. Yeah, right. So that's where I feel like I disagree, Silas, with the Scott Frost thing because I'm a UCF guy. I like UCF.
Okay.
So I like Scott Frost. I'm not a Nebraska fan by any
But he
means.
left UCF.
Right. But it's okay because I'm not crazy. I mean, I don't religiously cheer for UCF.
Oh, okay.
So it's fine that you can leave. Go ahead. Listen, all I'm saying, I disagree. I think Scott Frost is doing a good job because Scott Frost is at Nebraska. Nebraska is like one of the all-time college football teams.
Right.
But there's college football has changed. And nobody wants to go to Nebraska to play college football anymore. I just don't feel I don't feel like they're a top 5 Big Ten team even, like attractive wise. There's other teams I would rather play for. If I'm coming out of high school and I want to play college football
In the Big Ten.
in the Big Ten,
Okay.
strictly, I'm not going to want to go to Nebraska, even if Scott Frost is there.
Well, okay, so let's name teams that are appealing in the Big Ten. So we got Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State.
Yes, more so than Nebraska, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah. I think an up-and-coming team would be Maryland.
Minnesota, dude.
Minnesota, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so teams like that.
Okay, well, in your defense for what you're saying about Scott Frost, Minnesota is it
PJ Fleck.
That's right. They are doing a lot better with rebuilding as a college football program than Scott Frost has been doing at Nebraska.
Well, I think it's the personality has changed for college football. It's more hands-on. That's a bad term. Like it's more the coaches have an open door policy.
Okay.
And so let's go back to Columbus. So
it's a good place
Urban
to go.
Meyer, yes, it is a good place to go. Urban Meyer was a bit of an old school coach.
Right.
So, he was an older coach. He coached at Florida, won a championship there. He won a championship at Ohio State. But the game evolved to where the newer coaches are more. They interact with their players more.
Okay.
So if you go with Urban Meyer, he would have his door shut in his office to where the players, like, it just didn't feel as welcoming.
Okay.
A lot of older coaches did that. It's like an older policy. And the open door policy, once they hired Ryan Day, upgraded that to where they felt welcome. And if you ask players, they're like, yeah, Ryan Day helps with our mental health. You know, he cares about us. He's like a father figure.
Okay.
He's like a friend.
And think about like how much he helped with the players and Justin Fields, especially like his push to get the Big Ten back. Mm-hmm. He was on board with that. And it just seemed like you could see it in the offseason, how they fought for the Big Ten to play football. Mm-hmm. That their relationship is pretty strong.
Right. There's more of a relationship, like you said. And a lot of older coaches didn't have that, and the game's evolving to where that is a thing. And I don't think Scott Frost has that as much as like PJ Fleck.
Oh, okay.
So Fleck at Minnesota, you know, they got the row the boat mojo. He's very energetic, interactive.
It's an attractive attractive program.
Right. And it wasn't until he got there.
That's true. It was just like, ugh, Minnesota.
I remember when I was younger, when he coached at Western Michigan. For a year, they were attractive.
Yeah.
That's what he does. I was playing with them on NCAA 14 college football.
Really?
Yeah. They had the row the boat. He takes that wherever he goes. Who talks about Western Michigan now?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, their colors
Western
are actually kind of cool.
Who are they?
Western Michigan, yeah. So yeah. And
you don't feel like Scott Frost has that?
Not as much. I know he's a younger coach, which helps.
And it shows.
Right.
You don't want to write him off just yet, though, for me personally. I feel like, okay, yeah, they lost Ohio State. It's Ohio State. That's going to happen. But, I feel like right now, because the game has evolved, like you said, like we've been talking about, I feel like I don't want to write him off just yet. I feel like
which is fine. No,
yeah,
I'm not either.
Because especially with UCF, he had that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he had it there.
And I would just love to see. I want to see Nebraska become that team that they once were in college football.
Yeah.
I want them to be that top 5 attractive, winning Big Ten team. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I do agree that they are not that. They haven't been that. But when he came on board, I remember thinking dude, they're gonna turn around. They're gonna be a top 10 team right now. Right the season, his first season. But it didn't play out that way.
Right. No, and it's a lot of it has to do with his personality a little bit, and it's not against Scott Frost. He's got a little more laid back.
Right.
He's kind of monotone a little bit, but hats off to him. He fought hard to play, and even though they got punished and had to play Ohio State, the Big Ten was like that, but he fought hard, which has to help the players' confidence and stuff with their head coach. And, in Alabama, Nick Saban, he's an older coach. You might think, hey, well, does he have that, open door policy? Yes. He adapts. Yeah. No one adapts like Nick Saban has.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Day, Dabo Swinney, Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma.
Well, what was that Nick Saban quote that came out this past weekend?
Right. Going back to he adapts, he said that offense wins games now. You don't have to have this elite defense.
That is not at all Nick Saban's past philosophy.
Correct. He's always been run and play defense.
Yeah.
And with A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron was never a Heisman front runner
but he was
Mac
a big
Jones.
name. He was a big name.
He was a big name, but he never threw for 400 yards a game
That's
like
true.
Mac Jones is. And they never had these crazy wide receivers. I think Amari Cooper is one of the first ones that was like that.
Okay.
Was a Heisman finalist. But yeah, Nick Saban adapts.
Yeah.
And he does
He's
that.
on Aflac commercials.
Right. Yeah. He does it on the field and off.
Yeah.
I feel like he still has a relationship, not as much as like a PJ Fleck or a Lincoln Riley or Ryan Day.
He's definitely not as fun. I mean, he wins football games, but man, he's so boring.
But I feel like if I played for him, I'd respect him. He's
a
presence in the room.
Yeah.
It's unheard of.
Yeah, but I also want to punch him in the face.
Yeah, sometimes, when he yells at reporters or something like that.
Yeah, he gets so mad.
He does.
He acts like an idiot.
Yes.
Anyway, that had nothing to do with college football. That was just my personal opinion on Nick Saban.
All right.
But yeah, he does adapt. But he definitely needs to be more fun. And his acting was bad. Those Affleck commercials are crap.
Yeah, he's, at least he talks like himself. He's real monotone again.
Anyway.
Yeah.
He was in The Blind Side.
He was. So was Ed Ogeron.
Yeah.
Who's also an older coach that has adapted. He was very interactive with their
That's
players.
a good,
Joe Burrow loves Ed Ogeron.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Let's talk about the strong start for Michigan.
Oh.
Michigan's strong start. They beat Minnesota, who we thought Minnesota was gonna. We gave no love
For Michigan.
for Michigan, and I'm not sorry for it. I'll go there. I'm not sorry for it.
I am.
Really?
Yeah, I am a little bit sorry for it. I hate to say it, but
Right.
Michigan played really well.
Yes, they did. They looked good.
Kirk Herbstreit said their season couldn't start any better, and of course Kirk Herbstreit said it. But anyways,
we're not talking about that.
no. So Michigan relied heavily on their run game, and their defense played really well against a really good Minnesota offense.
Right.
So that was impressive. But so you got Joe Milton coming in. Really, they say he's like the best quarterback that Michigan's had in the Jim Harbaugh era.
Okay.
And which is crazy to think, considering Shea Patterson was a 5-star, committed to Ole Miss, then transferred, who didn't have like that great of a career.
Right.
He lose to Michigan
For being a
or
5-star.
lose to Ohio State. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he really wasn't that good at Ole Miss either. But that's besides the point. So Joe Milton comes in.
Was he a 5-star?
I think he was a 4-star.
And they're saying he's the best that
Yeah,
has been under Harbaugh. Oh wow.
Yeah, and I think Jim Harbaugh, he's like the type of frame that Jim Harbaugh can use.
Yeah.
He can sling it.
He looks like a Michigan quarterback.
Right. He's 6'5", 225, I think. Can sling. He overthrew this pass that night. That was like, whoa, this guy can throw.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt that if they need a Hail Mary, he'll get it there.
You could say, though, Michigan, the whole game was very eye-opening.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And, the fact that they went in there at Minnesota, I know it helps that they didn't have fans, but still, it was freezing cold. Mm-hmm. Minnesota's used to that kind of environment. And Michigan went in there and beat them good.
They did.
I know ESPN had some overreaction saying they're title contenders. I don't know if I'm there yet.
Yeah.
But, you have to go to Ohio State this year. You got games like 17 Indiana they have to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Next week they got, I think, Michigan State at home. They'll win that. But
okay.
Michigan State's in a really bad place.
Yeah. But when it comes to Michigan football, they did look good. We gave them no love. But you better expect that from me, at least.
Right.
But they did look good. And they won in a very, very strong fashion.
Right. And let me just say one thing. For Michigan fans, be excited because you guys have started most years strong, but there's been a few years where you've gone on the road and you've lost. So you've lost to Notre Dame.
Right.
They usually
big game openers.
Right. They usually end the year even more raw. I think you lose to South Carolina in a bowl game. You lose to Michigan in a bowl game. They've lost all these different bowl games. They've lost to Ohio State.
Yeah.
They're not ending the year like they want, but they started really strong. So.
This opener is definitely a statement win.
Oh, yeah.
So in terms of statement wins, we have Cincinnati's statement win.
Oh, yeah.
Over SMU.
The other team in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
of all teams, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yeah. So they have been in the AP top 10. Right. I just put them in. Cincinnati, Luke Fickell comes in. He didn't have the greatest year at Ohio State back in 2011. The only loss to Michigan, I think, the 20th.
Yeah, but that's not even a Luke Fickell thing.
Right.
I mean, it was coming off a really big controversy for Ohio State with Jim Tressel. But in terms of Cincinnati, okay, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. So Cincinnati, haven't lost.
Yep.
Really good team. Luke Ritterback. There's not much to say. Their defense is good. This 5-0 SMU team, now 5-1.
Yeah. I
really thought they were going to win. It was in Dallas. Cincinnati had to go to them, and they beat them. There's not much more you can say except that they're probably the best team in the American. I know this week is a huge game. They got Memphis at home.
Oh, yeah.
But, UCF losing to Memphis and Tulsa. Tulsa's another team that a lot of people haven't talked about. Had a really close game with Oklahoma State. Haven't lost since.
Okay.
They're coming up. So, I mean, there's 3 teams right now in the AAC.
Okay.
You got Cincinnati, who's like the automatic front runner.
Yep.
You've got Tulsa in the middle there, kind of sneaking around, and then you got Memphis,
Right.
who's got 1 loss.
And they're playing each other this weekend.
You're right. So one of them will get knocked off.
Yeah.
But watch out for Tulsa.
Okay.
I really believe Tulsa is a good football team.
Okay. Well, that concludes 3rd and 4. We're going to move right into 4th and 10. 4th and 10. I'm sorry. 4th and inches.
Yeah, 4th and inches.
Yeah.
Or 4th and goal, you know.
4th and goal is, I believe, what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said 4th and 10.
Yeah, they got the sticks wrong.
Right. It was a malfunction on the scoreboard. We know what it is.
Yeah.
So, but we're not moving the sticks until we get that first down.
Yeah, we got to do like a fullback or a QB sneak or something.
Right. We'll cross it.
Right, we'll get there.
All right. So for our 4th and 10, we're gonna keep it pretty simple. How about this? Let's do our predictions.
2 biggest games.
For the 2 biggest games. Yes.
Yeah.
Texas, Oklahoma State.
Ooh, good game.
Sai, what is your prediction for this weekend?
4:00 game. It's in Stillwater, which means Oklahoma State doesn't have to do any traveling this week. Texas, was supposed to be like a playoff contender,
Yeah.
and
They're not.
no, they're not at all. And they beat Baylor this week, which means they've got a little bit of momentum, but someone wants it more because someone's playing for something more.
Yeah.
And that's Oklahoma State. They have them at home. I really believe the Cowboys will get it done with that defense, and I think the offense, like I said earlier, is going to start clicking.
Right.
If you're going to say score, I'm going to go 28-17 Oklahoma State.
Wow. Okay. So a bigger margin than that Iowa State win.
Yes, because I believe Iowa State would beat Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I definitely like how you pointed out that, obviously Oklahoma State is working for something much bigger than Texas is. For Oklahoma State fans, it'd be very disappointing to see, as we talked earlier, Oklahoma State cannot afford 1 loss this season.
Right.
So it would be very upsetting to see Texas, who is not going to do anything this year. We know that. To knock them off,
right?
Would be pretty upsetting. And then Ohio State, Penn State is like the headline for next week.
Could have been even bigger.
It's always a big game,
right?
What is it this year?
Well, it's in Happy Valley, Penn State fans, which helps.
Yeah,
but you guys may have a whiteout of cardboard. I mean, you guys don't have
just paint the seats all white.
They don't have that 12th man. Sorry, Texas A&M, I stole your mojo, but Penn State doesn't have that 12th man on the field with that insane atmosphere. I think Ohio State's offense is too much. Penn State even struggled to score against Indiana. They struggled to even keep up with Indiana. So, how are you going to keep up with Justin Fields,
That's true.
Barrett Wilson, Trey Sermon, Master Teague? I don't even think it'll be close.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Now they're not even playing for something, so.
Right.
Just like I said in the other game.
Yeah. It all comes down to that. Give me a score.
I'm going to say 42-24 Buckeyes.
Wow. Okay. Definitely a lot bigger of a margin than previous Penn State Ohio State games.
Yes. Ohio State was controlling most of that game last year.
Yeah.
At home. It was 21-0, and then something weird happened where Sean Clifford got taken out.
Yep.
And Ohio State was not expecting it. Became close to the end, up winning 28-17. But, it'll be...
In my opinion,
okay,
the worst thing that could happen for Ohio State this weekend is Trace McSorley somehow gets the football.
Right. He'll come out of the locker room.
He'd be like, it's okay. We're going to win this.
Yeah, he'll come off the sideline like Johnny Manziel in that one pass play.
Yeah.
It'll be
crazy.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel in the one pass play. That's a really old reference now.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Plain as day.
Yeah.
They're like, bring in Johnny Football.
Yeah, that was bad Browns football. Like that. Remember that? Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. So, Buckeyes fans,
watch out for Trace McSorley.
Watch out for Trace McSorley. He's the big one this weekend. You guys got to watch out for because he always...
He's coming.
He's coming.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
Oh yeah.
He'll be there.
Yep.
So, watch out. Trace McSorley, shout out. We're moving on to our Hail Mary.
Okay.
We don't even need a transition for this. Upset of the week.
Okay. Well, I've got 3. I've got 3 upsets here.
Oh, wow.
The first one is
not just one upset. Not just 2 upsets.
but 3.
But
You know,
3.
Our first game is going to be in the Big Ten.
Okay.
If, this could be even more accurate if Graham Mertz actually does have coronavirus.
Oh.
So I've got Wisconsin at Nebraska. Nebraska coming off the loss to Ohio State. I think they are.
What?
Yeah, I think Wisconsin at Nebraska.
I've got Wisconsin in my top 10, man. You can't do that.
Well, so do I. I have Wisconsin in my top. That's why it's a good upset, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, Wisconsin at Nebraska.
Let's go, Scott Frost.
Yeah, Scott Frost.
Come on.
Yep. My second game, I got Kansas State at West Virginia. So Kansas State undefeated in Big 12 play.
Okay.
In Morgantown. Never easy. I think that Deuce Vaughn, he's going to have a game.
Okay.
A big game.
Okay.
But I think West Virginia can squeak by in a game that Kansas State really needs before they play Oklahoma State in 2 weeks. So, yes.
Okay.
Kansas State at West Virginia. I think I'm pretty certain about that one.
Really?
Yeah, I think
So that one's not just a long shot. That's not a Hail Mary. You're pretty sure you're getting a first down on that one.
right. And this one is a long shot. I got Oklahoma at Texas Tech. It's in Lubbock at 8:00 on Fox.
Is that 8:00? So is that the big game or no?
No, the big game will be Michigan State at Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Noon on Fox. But anyways, Oklahoma at Texas Tech. It's in Lubbock, which 2 years ago had a really close game with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I think that they've really struggled at 8:00. I remember they lost to Iowa State on the road.
Okay.
He's got more experience under his belt. Spencer Rattler has, but
Right.
no, I feel like
But
this
no.
could be closer than people are thinking.
Well, boys and girls, at 8:00 on your commercial breaks for the game that you would rather be watching, make sure to check out the Oklahoma.
Right, you'll be watching it during Ohio State Penn State commercials.
Right.
You know, because that'll be at 7:30. So
Yeah.
yeah, just keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. We might see an upset there, according to Silas. So
Yeah.
I like that a lot. For me, I don't really have an upset of the week, but I have one I'm keeping my eye on.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going back to the SEC.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not that place.
I know. I don't think Kentucky will do it, but there's a chance.
Oh yeah, it's in Lexington.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Georgia is going to Kentucky,
Okay.
and Georgia, I think they could find their second loss.
I like that.
They could.
Yes, I mean,
That would be exciting for just if I want to see an upset, that would be the one I'd want to see.
yeah.
I don't think it'll happen. But like Kentucky,
Pokes fans to A&M fans, that's what you want right there.
that's true.
I mean, you got Terry Wilson at QB. He's like a senior for Kentucky.
Yeah.
At home.
You see this upset this weekend, you can see your team sliding up.
Yeah, that's an early game, noon. I like that. I really do.
I feel like that game is the
Georgia coming off a bye week after a hard loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that, Owen.
Okay, thanks. Well, I'm glad. So I would like to see, that is my Hail Mary.
Okay.
I think it's the biggest Hail Mary because I don't see it happening, but would like to see it happen. So, Silas, that is all the topics we had to talk about today. Is there anything else that you're wanting to throw out there right now?
I hope not. You know, we got through a lot there.
We did.
I'm excited about this weekend. I think October 31st. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes.
Have a good Halloween week.
Be safe.
Yes. Make sure to tune in next week. You know,
Yeah.
we'll talk about all those.
We'll be
games,
talking-
see if we were right.
So yeah, we're gonna talk. Well, we got one upset correct
Right,
from last
yep.
week. Well, you did, and then we were completely wrong about another.
Yeah.
But that's what's fun about this, and we really enjoy doing it. So we had a couple problems with this one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, the cat was on the table,
Right.
and was trying to stop it, and then we're talking for a really long time, and I look, and nothing's recording.
Yeah, we got stopped.
Just in the middle of something, you might be able to tell. Hopefully not. We're gonna try to fix it.
Right.
But we had a good time talking about this. Big games this weekend.
Big games.
Big
Yep.
games. We're excited. There's always big games. We make them big.
Right.
We
yeah.
make them big. In our opinion, if it might not be a big
We
game.
pump the roids in them games.
Right. We're just like, let's get hype for. Hold on.
Let's put some Nugenics in that crap.
I'm getting Nugenics, yes, but that is not a sponsor. Yo, I'm getting hype for Rice in Southern Mississippi.
Dude.
Check it out on ESPN3 at 3 p.m.
Dude,
that's the big game to look out for.
Friday games? How about them Friday games?
Oh yeah, that's true. We got Marshall and Florida International.
Yeah, dude, Marshall's really good this year.
Minnesota at Maryland. It's gonna be a rubber
Maryland
match.
played bad, and so did Minnesota. So, wow, looks like I'm watching Marshall.
Sounds good. Yeah. No. Hey, going back to love for UCF. UCF at Houston at 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus for those who actually pay money for ESPN Plus.
Oh wow, it's on ESPN Plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually steal it off my uncle.
Do we? Yeah, that's true. We don't have our own.
No, we don't pay for it, but our uncle does. So
that's true, and we use it. So thank you, Uncle Ty. But yeah, we're getting hyped for the Marshall games. So
yeah,
that is all for today. We're going off the deep end.
Yeah, we're
Silas, thanks for talking with me today.
Yes, thanks for having me again.
Yes, this is good. You know your stuff, man.
Thanks. So do you, man.
All right. We're going in to this weekend excited. We hope you are. Tune in next week. We're going to talk about all the craziness going on. Stay safe. We love you guys. This is Miller Mites Podcast signing off.